This song is dedicated to all the new people who just can't get the truth. On your journey, you're going to go through a lot. People going to be telling you how you should keep the Sabbath, how the law is going the way you go. My advice to you is just ignore it. Keep the Most High first. Keep His love. That's what we do.
Yes, we have a word that we want to share with you on this beautiful Sabbath. I'm excited with this word because Father, y'all have been showing me a great deal of things. Well, I've been having, several conversations with different people. And, I find that we have a great deal of people that is being awakened. And we also have a lot of people that is stuck in the systematic world, and they don't see anything happening different than what it always has been. But there is a major shift that is happening right now. It's happening right before our eyes, but those that has been awakened are the ones that can see it. But those that are still stuck in a systematical world, a systematical system, my heart go out. I was talking to a pastor, and he was sharing me. He said, Pastor, I've been through the Bible, I've read the Bible over and over again, and he said, Father Yahweh has let me know something. And I said, well, what is that, Pastor? What did he let you know? He said, I have to live it now. And my mind was like, well, we finally figured that out. We have to live this word. Father Yah put us an example here. And when he put the example here, it was for us. And we accept what he has given us, then it is up to us to live it. So we have to come out of the systematic world to be able to see the full picture of what Father Yah is doing in this time and in this season. He put in my spirit, this is just a platform about Hosea and Gomer. He used Hosea and Gomer so that the people could see how they were doing him. We talking about the people. Father God chose the people. We talking about Israel. So when Father Yah began to use Hosea, he was showing the people how his love was for them. Of course, Hosea, he was a great man of Yah. And, he had planned to get married. He wanted to find a nice young lady, somebody that, was equally yoked with him, and somebody that they could, grow together and have a family together. But at the same token, we know that Hosea was one that would do whatever Father Yah would tell him to do. So Father Yah, I'm paraphrasing this because I want you to get it. So Father Yah told him to marry Gomer. For everybody knew Gomer. They knew, it's in the book of Hosea, you go read it. Everybody knew Gomer. Everybody knew her as a prostitute. She was a loose woman. That's the best way I can describe her. And she did everything under the sun, she would do anything for $1, or how sometimes, women find themselves in a position, they pretty, fine, they can do things, to make things happen with their body, in order to make income. I'm just telling you like it is. So, this woman was this type of woman, but Father Yah had Hosea to marry her. And he wanted to lay out a picture right in front of the people. And so what happens is, everybody watching this thing, when God say, take Gomer for a wife, and he buckled a little bit, but he was going to obey Father Yah. So when he took Gomer on for a wife, everybody looked at him and said, this man got to be a fool to marry this woman, she done been with everybody, got kids, they not his kids, but yet still he take her for a wife. So here now, everybody watching the scene, and this woman, none of her ways changed. She kept those ways, going out, doing what she do, prostituting and whatever else she did, and she would find herself caught up in a lot of things. But Jose would always go get her and bring her back home. When you read that, you'll love it. So when he would bring her back home, they would talk about it, call her all kind of foods and everything else. But to make a long story short, Jose, he put it in front of them and told her, now look, now this is the love that Father Yah have for you all. And every time he go and get you and bring you back, you go back to your wicked ways. But he keep coming back, bring you back, but you go back to your wicked ways. So what I'm doing ain't no more than what you all are doing to Father Yah. So he is showing you in the life of Jose and Goa how you all are treating him. So I wanted to lay that platform for you because Father Yah is doing some things in the land right now with people and through people, and people are looking right at it and they don't see it, nor do they understand it. Because they caught up in a systematical work. Caught up. But Father, God wants you to see this. You have an opportunity to turn away from a systematical work. Accept what he's doing in the land. Accept it. Because ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Because everything that we are looking for is already here. It's manifesting itself. Here. But what are we going to do? Are we going to stay caught up in a systematic work? Or are we going to accept what Father Yah is doing? And the only way we can do that is that we got to step out of I'm talking about a wicked nation. In the book of Revelation, they call it Babylon. How do we come from out of this stuff? There is a way has been made. But I just wanted to lay that platform, we dealing with some things, y'all. I got this article here. I'm going to read the word here in a minute. I got this article, I got this here the other day. And it's dealing with Generation Z. Generation Z. It says Generation Z does not love the U.S. like boomers do. That doesn't bode well for our future. It don't bode well. It's just good. I'm just giving you the topic of it, but you can go pull it and read that whole because you don't want to read this because we talking about Generation Z. This generation is a generation that we never saw before. This generation don't have a heart for nothing or nobody. There are some that will be able to come out of this thing, but this Generation Z, we talking about some cold-hearted people. They say that this generation would not make it. But there are some, if you can be awakened and look and see. When I say Generation Z, we talk about age 29, 30, 31. Generation Z, that's how they label. We had Generation X. Everybody thought that was the bad generation, but Generation X ain't nothing compared to Generation Z. We see all the killing and stuff going on, and most of the time, when we find out who did the killing or whatever, it's Generation Z. It's the youngest ones. We got this problem because we got mamas and grandmamas and then babies. We got them set up like that. And don't nobody know nothing about God. They don't know nothing about Jesus. They don't know nothing about Father Yah. They don't know nothing about Yehoshua. They don't know nothing about nothing that will line them up in the right way. Even to get them in a good place. Even to get them in a good place. Heartless. But what are we going to do? Are we going to stay in a systematic systematic system, a system that was set up to make sure that you kill each other, or we're going to come out and help our people. We got to come out and help. I got this word here. We're going to go on into this word. Thank you, Father Yah. I always honor Father Yah because of what is being done right now. And this word that we're going into is going to bring some things to light. I'm in Matthew, the 12th chapter. You probably want to go there. These things that we're seeing, today, we got to really pay attention to what is happening. Wow. This is so awesome. My text actually is going to start at the 38th verse, 12th chapter of Matthew. But I just want to kind of just read from 33, then come on down to 38, so we can get a beautiful picture out of this. It says, either make the tree good and this fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and its fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by its fruit. It's known by its fruit. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. A good thing out of the good treasures of the heart bringeth forth good things. Good things. And an evil man out of an evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you, that every idle word that man should speak, they should give an account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy word thou shalt be justified, and by thy word thou shalt be condemned. Shall be condemned. Shall be condemned. Now going into our text, it says, then a certain of the scribes and the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we will see a sign from thee. See a sign from thee. Listen to it. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seek after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to you, but the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights, and the well bedded, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. You see where we're going? You see how he used Jonah to show you what has already been done. He wants you to see this. He says, for Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the well bedded, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Now, we all know, we heard pastor preaching and teaching and show us where Yehoshua, we've always taught Jesus Christ how he was in the tomb for 3 days, 3 nights. He was there 3 days and 3 nights, and say that he risen on the 3rd day. So this is the sign that we saw. This is what we saw. Everybody was able to witness the fact that he didn't stay in that grave. Everybody said he got up, right? Yes, he got up. So, we know Jonah was in the belly of the whale for 3 days. He had to come out of there and do what Father Yah told him to do. But I want to finish reading it before we go off into that. He said, for as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the well bedded, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, because they repent at the preaching of Jonah. And behold, a greater than Jonah is here. A greater than Jonah is here. We just going to stop the ride right there. A greater than Jonah is here. Now we know Jonah, when you go in the book of Jonah, you will see where he was charged by Father Yah to go to Nineveh and preach, because Nineveh was a very wicked place. And he told him to go and preach to Nineveh. But Jonah, he did not want to go to Nineveh and preach, because he knew that if he went and preached truth to these people in Nineveh, he knew that these folks were going to accept truth. But Jonah wanted Father Yah to condemn them folks. But he had to obey what Father Yah told him. He had to obey. But at the same token, he didn't want to, because when he was going, rather than going to Nineveh like Father Yah told him to go, the word said he went down to Tarshish. And say when he went to Tarshish, he got on a ship. And when he went and got on the ship, the word said he went out into sea. And when they went out into sea, they said that there was a very tempestuous storm. There was a storm that came out. This storm was unusual. They had never saw a storm like this. So Jonah, he stood up and let them know that he was the cause of the storm. And if you throw me overboard, the storm will stop. You won't go through this. But I'm the reason. Because he knows that Father Yah had told him to go to Nineveh and preach truth to them people so that they could be saved, but he didn't want them to be saved. Father Yah, he honored compassion. If you have compassion on someone, Father Yah honors that. But if you don't have compassion, if you don't do what Father Yah have told you to do, because this is an opportunity to prove that you love him. An opportunity to prove that you love Father Yah. You can't stay in the same place. You can't stay in the same position. If you say you know Father Yah, even if you say you have accepted Jesus Christ, the word tells us that you can't touch the hem of his garment and stay the same. You got to change. The woman that had the issue of blood, say when she touched the hem of his garment, say she became whole. So I'm saying that because a lot of y'all, this is the only thing you know, Jesus Christ, but we got to get used to the fact that his name is Yehoshua HaMashiach. If you are of Yah. If you are of Yah. You got to understand that we got to come out of this systematical word. We got to come out of this systematical teaching. We got to come out of this systematical religion. Because even though Yehoshua was showing miracles and wonders, when he was standing there and how the Pharisees described how they came to him and asked him about a sign. They asked him. The Pharisees and the scribes, we talking about the religious rulers. And he let them know the only sign that you were going to get was going to be the sign of that which was a Jonah. And so when Jonah went and preached to them, in other words, let's back up for a minute, but Jonah, when he was thrown off the ship, the words say that he ended up in the belly of a whale, and say he was in there for 3 days and 3 nights. Now, he was there for 3 days and 3 nights, and he had to go ahead on and let Father Yah know that I'm going to do your will. So when the whale brought him up after the 3rd night, the 3rd day, say he was released. And he went to Nineveh, and he preached to them people truth. And those people were saved. So with them people being saved, because Jonah took truth to them, they were able to stand and stand in truth. But if we don't give people truth, they'll always be stuck in a systematical way. They'll always be stuck in a systematical religion, and they'll never find truth. But it's your job, my job, to speak truth. And if we speak truth, then we are giving a person an opportunity to be saved. Because you can't be saved on no lie. You got to be able to come out. I'll call rough system. A system that has dumbed it down to a point that you're so dumbed down that you can't see truth. And you think you can do the same old thing and get different results. And you can't keep doing the same old thing and get different results. You got to do something different. And that means that you can't look for the pie in the sky to bring you out. You got to look at truth. Truth. It's heartbreaking to see so many that's trapped. And then when you bring truth to them, you the one that got the problem. Because they stuck in a rut. These Pharisees and scribes, these religious rulers, even though they saw everything that Yehoshua was doing, they were showed up. He showed compassion to the people. But the religious rulers, the Pharisees and the scribes, they hustling the people. Hustling. But what did Yehoshua do? He go in to give them truth. But rather than the Pharisees and the scribes accepting truth, they began to plot to kill him. They want to kill him because he telling the truth. He helping people. He opening blind eyes. He healing the sick. He preaching to the captive. He setting the captive free. But because he's doing it, the religious leaders want to kill him. Understand what I'm saying? He's using people right now. Who you're looking for is already here. And that's true. It's already here. But it's up to you to want that truth. Do you want the truth? Well, you got to come out. You got to come out of this systematic kind of stuff. It makes me so bad. You know, we got to do stuff right now to maintain. Because we see a system that is sinking. When the weekend roll around, come Monday morning, it's something else that done shut down and stuff. We just had a major trucking company with 30,000 employees just shut down. 30,000 people without work. Let's go, guys. I got to show you this right here. Look at here. It went right there, too. It went right there where I'm going to take you because I don't know if they really get it, what we're trying to say. But we want you to get it. We really want you to get it. Revelation 18th chapter. And I'm going to read this. The fall of Babylon. It says, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is becoming the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage, and of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth has committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plague. You receive not of her plague, because if you are caught up in the systematic system, if you have taken complete part of it, in other words, I'm so glad that Father Yah saw fit to bring me out. Because once I was in there, it put me on a whole other level of things. It brought me out of a systematic work. I don't think the same way. When I read the word, I see it different. Because he had me on that level. I see it different. And I tell people, I don't take nothing from church because I needed church, the person that I was. And it brought me to a place that I experienced so much in the church. The church is a hospital. The church is a hospital. People come in, they got problems, they got situations, but they're just a stepping stone. Because Father, y'all build you up to a point you will go through a lot of stuff in the church. If you ain't going through nothing in the church, then I don't know what's going on. You got to be unhuman. But Father, y'all allow you to experience stuff and go through stuff. Let me tell you something. If I wasn't tired to Father, y'all, if I wasn't in a position that I knew Father, y'all had called me out of the world, I'd have been back in the world in a way and doing something in and everything. But because I knew He called me out of the world, I had a choice to either serve Him or die. I chose to serve Him. And when I chose to serve Him, He allowed me to go through and through, all the way till I got to the point where I had to say, it got to be more to you than this, God. And when I kept on repeating, it got to be more to you than this, God, He began to show me more. And let me tell you something. The church house ain't the final stop. There is another level that you got to get to. That's another level. And that level is truth. When you get to truth, you're going to find yourself that you are free. You ain't bound down. He said, I call you out to work. I saved you not for you to be bound, but for you to be free. For you to be free. I see stuff. A lot of people don't understand where I'm at, what I do, or how I do it. But I do it by the order of what Father y'all have given me. Somebody got to see the truth. Somebody got to see it. I'm going to tell you, me and my wife, we got married back in that was 1983. I gathered 1983. That's a long way back, but I'm gathering. We were together, and we were together about 7 years. And, we were apart over 26 years. Now, note now, when we married in 83, it was July 25th. 26 years later, Father, y'all bring my wife back to me after I go through all this kind of stuff that I done went through. He brought her back to me on the 25th. We remarried here 8 years ago. And I asked Father, y'all, what is it about this number 25? And Father, y'all said, number 25 will let you know that I have forgiven you for everything. Everything that you lost, I'm giving it back to you and more. And Father, y'all kept His word. I got more than I ever had right now. Peace is greater than anything I can ask for. And then the 25th, when we made it 7 years, I say 7 years. I say that's the number of completion. And here on the 25th of July of this year, my wife, she reminded me, she said, baby, we've been married 8 years. I said, wow, 8 years, a new beginning. So I began to look at the numbers. I say, the 25th He had forgiven me. Then we made 7 years. Father, y'all let me know that was completion. And then, when she reminded me of the 8 years, I say, a new beginning. I said, baby, we had a new beginning. Now, if I would have never became, got away and stayed away from my wife 26 years, we would be counting right now 47 years that we had been together. So I always tell her, baby, I took a 26-year sabbatical, but I'm back home. And I'm talking about we happier than happy can be. So I'm just showing you how Father y'all can use the lives of people so that you can see what He can and what He will do. And right now, He is using people trying to bring you to truth. Trying to bring you to truth. Come out of her. Come out. He's telling her, come out of her. Babylon is about to be destroyed. Everything that's tied in, you see them talking about how the banks are steady shutting down, how we got wars and rumors of war. I'm talking about real wars. People that came in, and don't these just regular people that came in the United States coming across the border. So everything is getting ready to clash in on us. So back in the day when I graduated in 1981, I had a chance to make a 30-year plan. But today, to make a 30-year plan, you out of your mind. When we finna see the kingdom of God come forward, because you got people bringing it forward. Ain't nothing finna be the same. Everything is changing right before your eyes, but you standing looking off. Come out of the systematical system and step in the truth. And I'm gonna tell you, every time I talk to you, index yourself so that you will be awake and have a way. Because if you're not indexed, you're non-productive. And if you're non-productive, you ain't got nowhere you going but to somebody's FEMA camp, locked up somewhere, or just probably split open in your body parts, your organs being sold somewhere else, because you ain't nothing. Glory. It's hard, but it's fair. It's hard, but it's fair. I wouldn't do you no justice if I didn't tell you the truth. This is the charge that Father y'all have given me. I was reminded that He have chosen me. He have chosen me. I have been right. Even when I try to ignore it, He let me know that He have. I'm just one of those people, one of them rare people. But to Yehoshua, thank you, Father y'all, for allowing him to be who he is and to stand. I deal with stuff, but he deal with stuff. He got the government upon his shoulder. All that stuff. But the job is getting done. Tell him, we're going to get this done. It's already complete. But the people got to wake up and know who they are. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know where you come from, you sure don't know where you're going. You're just stuck. You got the blind leading the blind. I'm telling you, it's some stuff out there that makes my spirit so bad. I'm so glad, Father, y'all took my emotions and set them somewhere else right now, because my heart go out. I told my mother, if Father, y'all hadn't did that for me, I'd be crying every day. It's like when Yehoshua was standing up on the mountain of Jerusalem and looking down into Jerusalem, and the people just knew that they were right. But they were so far from the truth. The word said that Yehoshua wept because the people were so far from the truth. We got this stuff right in our face. We got this stuff happening right now in our face. And it's like the people can't see it. This kind of stuff, they believe over here in the United States, they say this stuff can't happen to the United States. This is superpower. Shoot, we done lost the doggone value of the dollar. But we the superpower. The United States, well, I say they. You got nations steady dropping that dollar. Don't want nothing to do with it. Telling people that you from the United States and you in somebody else's country, they tell you to get out. They giving you a certain time to get out. We got right now, we surrounded with other nations with their ships and their submarines and I mean just everything pointing this way, ready to annihilate this place. But people still stuck in the pie in the sky. Long as I got King Jesus, I'm gonna be all right. But there's another story coming your way. And we talking about truth. We talking about truth. We talking about truth. I don't want to take it too far, but I'm telling you, wait, you have to be awakened, open your eyes and look around and see this stuff that's happening, see what's going on. It's not going away, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. Only going to get worse. Glory be to God. Thank you, Father, y'all. Thank you.
Your journey.
We pray you wake up, Father, y'all.
People going to tell you how you should keep the Sabbath and how it's going away with you. My advice to you is just ignore it. Keep the Most High first. Keep His love. That's what we doing over here. We rest.
We're chilling on the Sabbath.
That's what we doing. We chilling on the Sabbath.
We're chilling on the Sabbath.
They out in church on Sunday. They out on the view.
We're chilling on the Sabbath. He's in his days, yeah. We gon' be ready when Christ returns. Then we have a church on our own, yeah. And this life that things that we say, yeah. He showing in the whole word. For the land and keep it holy. And we should always honor the Most High. Exactly what to say, and know that the Lord believes in you, and the Lord is not away with you. Just rest and chill in the Most High. The Father knows who's here, so he'll tell him we're chilling on the Sabbath. We're chilling on the Sabbath. Don't call me, don't leave me answer the phone. We're chilling on the Sabbath. We're chilling on the Lord's day. We're chilling on the Sabbath. Yeah, don't look at me on no Sunday. At your church, Lord, it's gotta keep the holy Saturday. See, I can show you in my Bible. Exodus chapter 20. Scroll down and look at verse 8. Verse 8. For the land remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. And we should always honor the Most High. Exactly what to say. And know that the Lord believes in you. And the Lord is not away with you. Just rest and chill with the Most High. The Father knows who he is. To tell him we're chilling on the Sabbath. We're chilling, y'all. We're chilling on the Sabbath. You be careful of the multitude. We're chilling on the Sabbath. And there's scripture about our Heavenly Father. We're chilling on the Sabbath. The book of Leviticus and keep it holy. And we should always honor the Most High. And do exactly what he says. And know that the Lord believes in you. And the Lord is not away with you. Just rest and chill with the Most High.